At dinner, my son said loudly, "At least Mom's new husband isn't a loser like you." I said nothing. The next morning, his car was gone and his school account was frozen. That evening, my ex called me in a panic. I'm 45, divorced from Allison 3 years now. We've got one son, Blake, who just turned 19. Second year at a private university upstate. The divorce was brutal. Allison made sure Blake heard her side of everything. By the time we signed papers, my kid looked at me like I'd personally ruined his life. She remarried last year to Wade, sales guy, drives a BMW 7 Series, wears suits that cost more than my mortgage. Blake thinks Wade walks on water. Here's the thing, I'm an electrical engineer, make good money, own my house outright, decent savings, but I'm not flashy. Drive a 2018 Accord, buy clothes at Kohl's. Allison's convinced Blake this makes me a failure. During the divorce, she fought for maximum child support and minimum visitation. Court gave us shared custody, reasonable payments, but I offered something extra. Said I'd cover Blake's entire college expenses, tuition, room, board, everything. It was my idea. Wanted Blake to have opportunities regardless of what happened. She agreed immediately. I've been paying $32,000 yearly. Set up automatic tuition payments. Gave Blake a credit card for expenses. Blake's visits became torture. Every other weekend, he'd spend 2 days telling me how much better Wade is, how Wade takes him to Cancun, how Wade bought him a Gucci belt. I'm just the guy funding his education. Boring stuff. 6 months ago, Blake wanted a car. Allison called, said it was my responsibility. The divorce agreement didn't mention vehicles, but Blake kept pushing. Bought him a 2019 Honda Civic. Clean title, 40,000 miles. Perfect for college. Cost me $18,000. Blake hated it. Wanted something flashy like Wade's BMW. I explained reliable beats fancy for a student. He took it, but complained constantly. Last month, Blake came for his weekend. I'd made reservations at Romano's, this Italian place he used to love. Thought maybe we could have one dinner without comparisons. Started okay. Talked about his economics class, his roommate, normal stuff. I was actually relaxed. Then he brought up spring break. Allison and Wade were taking him to Europe. London, Paris, Amsterdam. 2 weeks. 5-star hotels, first-class flights. I asked if Wade was covering it or if it was coming from his college fund. My college fund. Blake's face changed. Got defensive immediately. Said it wasn't my business how Wade spent his money. That Wade was generous, unlike some people. I tried changing subjects, but Blake was rolling. Started listing everything. Wade's more successful. Wade's more fun. Wade bought him AirPods Max without being asked. Wade doesn't lecture about being practical. According to Blake, Wade was everything a real father should be. Then Blake said it, loud enough that the couple 2 tables over stopped eating. At least Mom's new husband isn't a loser like you. He had this smug expression, like he'd been waiting to land that punch. Other diners were staring. The waiter froze mid-pour at the table behind us. I put down my fork, asked for the check, didn't say a word. The drive back was silent. 23 minutes of nothing. I could see Blake glancing at me, maybe realizing he'd gone too far. No apology came. Dropped him at his dorm. Said I'd see him in 2 weeks. He shrugged and walked away. That night, I couldn't sleep. Kept replaying that word, loser, in front of strangers. After 3 years of funding his life while he worshipped the guy with the fancy car. At 7 a.m., I started making calls. First, my bank canceled Blake's credit card, the one I'd given him for emergencies that he used for DoorDash and games. Second, university bursar. Requested a hold on all new charges to his student account. Since I was the payer, they processed it immediately. Third, insurance company. Removed the Honda from my policy effective immediately. Then I drove to campus. Used my spare key to get the Civic from the student lot. It was registered in my name. Blake was just an authorized driver, legally mine. By noon, Blake had no car, no credit card, and a frozen school account. I didn't call to explain. Figured he'd connect the dots. Phone started ringing around 2 p.m. Blake first, didn't answer. Then Allison. 5 calls in 20 minutes. Allison's messages went from angry to frantic. By the third, she was practically crying. Blake was having a meltdown. His card declined at lunch. His car missing. She called a 6th time. I answered. She was screaming. What had I done? Why was I punishing Blake? He didn't understand why everything stopped working. I let her finish. Then I said, real calm. Wade's so generous. Let him pay for it. Hung up.